Have you ever felt her pulling away, but every time you bring it up, she flips the script so smoothly you question your own reality? That's not just miscommunication, that's manipulation. And if you miss it, the cost is brutal. Wasted years, drained confidence, broken trust that may never fully return. The truth is, before she cheats, most women use the same psychological tricks. They sound harmless. They even sound mature. But underneath, they're designed to create distance while she prepares her escape. In this video, I'll walk you through the 4 exact lies you must recognize, because spotting them early could mean the difference between protecting your heart or losing yourself in the process. As a psychologist and relationship coach who has spent years working with men blindsided by betrayal, I can tell you, these lies are not random. They follow a precise pattern I've heard many times in private sessions. And before we dig into the details, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share in the comments the moment you first realized something wasn't right. Your story could help another man connect the dots. Now let's begin. Because the first lie women tell sounds harmless, but it's the seed that grows into betrayal. Number 1. I just haven't been in the mood lately. Men, let me be brutally honest with you. This is the most common lie women use right before they cross the line. And it works on most of you because it sounds so damn reasonable. Everyone gets tired. Work piles up. Stress builds. Hormones shift. Who hasn't felt drained and not in the mood? You hear this line and your instincts tell you to nod, be understanding, and let it go. But here's the truth that most women will never tell you. When she loves you, stress doesn't push her away. It pulls her closer. When she's tired, she still craves your arms around her. Maybe not for wild passion every night, but for closeness, for comfort, for feeling safe in the man she trusts. Real love doesn't shut down physical affection. It seeks it out, even in exhaustion. So when she suddenly has no interest in touching you, no spark for weeks or even months, when she flinches at your hand on her back, when she treats even casual closeness like a burden, that's not about stress, that's about redirection. Her body didn't stop wanting intimacy. It stopped wanting intimacy with you. And here's the cruel psychology behind it. When a woman begins investing emotionally in another man, her body reacts. Intimacy with you starts to feel like betrayal, not of you, but of him. The new man becomes her emotional center, and suddenly you're the obstacle. Touching you feels wrong, dirty, even repulsive. She's protecting the bond she's secretly building elsewhere. This is why you'll see the strangest contradiction. With you, she's too tired. With the rest of the world, she's suddenly alive again. New workouts, new clothes, extra time in front of the mirror, perfume she hasn't worn in years. She's shaving, posting selfies, buying lingerie, but somehow never in the mood when it comes to you. That's not coincidence. That's a transfer of desire. Let me give you a story to make this real. David, a 41-year-old financial analyst, came to me devastated. His girlfriend of 3 years had been distant for months. Every time he reached for her, she pulled away, saying, "I'm just not in the mood. Work has me drained." And David believed her because it made sense. Long hours, pressure, deadlines. But then he started noticing something off. She was at the gym every morning at 6, something she hadn't done in years. She bought a new wardrobe, tight dresses, heels, expensive makeup. Her Instagram was full of confident selfies, while in private she avoided even holding hands. David realized the painful truth. She wasn't out of the mood, she was just out of the mood with him. That's the pattern you need to watch. Her mouth says, "I'm tired," but her actions scream, "I'm excited." Just not for you. And if you're not careful, you'll waste months or years making excuses for a woman who's already emotionally checked out. Now, I'm not telling you to panic the first time she turns you down. Real life happens. Fatigue, illness, stress, they're real. But if she consistently withdraws from you while simultaneously pouring energy into her appearance, her fitness, her social life, wake up. That's not a dry spell. That's a redirection of intimacy. Men, you cannot afford to ignore this, because if you do, you'll end up apologizing for having normal needs while she prepares her exit. You'll tell yourself she's just busy, just tired, just hormonal, while she's getting her emotional and physical needs met somewhere else. The mistake most men make? They think patience will fix it. They think being more supportive, more understanding, more accommodating will bring her back. Wrong. When her heart and body are elsewhere, no amount of understanding will make her crave you again. So what should you do? Don't argue. Don't beg. Don't shame her. Just observe. Compare her lack of desire for you with her renewed energy for everything else. And ask yourself the hard question. Is this really about stress, or is her desire already gone? Because here's the truth. The right woman may get tired, but she will never be too tired to want your closeness. If she loves you, she'll still want to curl up next to you, still smile when you touch her, still seek the comfort of your presence. If all of that has vanished while her energy for the world skyrockets, you already know what's happening. Not every woman who avoids intimacy is cheating. Sometimes it really is stress or exhaustion. But when the distance comes hand in hand with a sudden glow up in her appearance, that's when it's no longer innocent. It's a red flag. Number 2, I just want to focus on myself right now. At first, this sounds like the most enlightened thing a partner could say. Who doesn't want a woman who invests in her mental health, who works on herself, who wants to grow? You hear those words, and you probably even feel proud. You think, finally, she's doing the inner work. She's healing. She's maturing. This must be good for both of us. But men, here's the hard truth. When a woman truly wants to grow inside a healthy relationship, she includes you in that process. She shares what she's learning. She wants to bring you along for the ride. She talks about attachment styles and then asks about yours. She reads a book on boundaries and says, "Hey, let's talk about how this applies to us." Real growth in love is collaborative. It draws the couple closer. When she suddenly wants to focus on herself in total isolation, when every effort you make to be part of her journey is met with resistance, when your presence is treated as an obstacle to her growth, that's not self-care. That's self-separation. It's her way of building a version of herself that no longer includes you. So when she steps out with someone else, she can tell herself she's simply outgrown the relationship. And the cruel twist? She'll make you feel guilty for even wanting to be included. She'll call you controlling. She'll say you're unsupportive. She'll accuse you of holding her back. She reframes your natural desire to stay connected as proof that you don't respect her independence. In other words, she weaponizes self-growth against you. Let me ground this in a real scenario. Chris, a 46-year-old who runs an auto repair shop, shared his story with me. His girlfriend started talking about healing her inner child and finding her authentic self. At first, Chris supported it wholeheartedly. He even paid for some of the weekend workshops she wanted to attend. But then he noticed a shift. Every workshop was for her only. Every journaling session was private. She didn't want to share what she was learning. When Chris suggested reading one of the same books so they could discuss it together, she snapped, "This is my journey, not ours." And every time Chris asked questions, she accused him of suffocating her growth. Meanwhile, her self-focus involved going out of town more often, staying late at events he wasn't invited to, spending hours online with new friends he never met. Chris realized what was really happening. She wasn't healing her relationship with him. She was creating the emotional distance she needed to justify betraying him. Men, this is the pattern. Self-work that excludes you is not self-work. It's exit strategy. Healthy personal development sounds like, "I'm learning new things about myself, and I want to share them with you." Fake personal development sounds like, "I need space to find myself, and your presence gets in the way." So how do you tell the difference? Simple. Observe whether her growth brings you closer or pushes you out. Does she include you in her discoveries, or does every step she takes require you to disappear? Real growth makes love stronger. Fake growth makes betrayal easier. And here's where most men get blindsided. Because the language she uses sounds so noble, so evolved, healing, boundaries, inner child, authenticity. These words are powerful shields. They make you feel selfish for questioning her. They make you doubt yourself for wanting to be part of her life. And that's exactly the point. If you feel guilty for asking to be included, she's already flipped the script on you. Men, don't get it twisted. A woman who loves you will never treat you like a roadblock to her evolution. She'll see you as part of it. If instead she frames your love as the obstacle to her growth, understand what's really happening. She's not healing. She's rehearsing her exit. Of course, self-growth can be genuine. Many women truly mean it. But when her growth journey keeps excluding you, that's not self-care. It's groundwork for walking away. Number 3, you're being too controlling. This is one of the most clever deflections women use because it makes you doubt yourself instantly. You ask a perfectly reasonable question, "Where were you last night?" Or, "Who were you texting during dinner?" And suddenly you're the bad guy. Instead of answering, she flips it. Now the issue isn't her behavior. It's your supposed insecurity, your toxic masculinity, your controlling nature. Men, listen carefully. When a woman has nothing to hide, her instinctive response to questions is clarity, not combat. She explains, she reassures, she gives details without you even needing to press. Transparency feels natural when you're telling the truth. But when she's keeping secrets, every question feels like an interrogation. Every answer risks exposure. So she doesn't answer. She attacks. She frames your curiosity as abuse. She makes you question your own sanity for having basic relationship needs. Let me show you how this plays out. Mark, a 54-year-old restaurant manager, told me about his girlfriend. One night, he noticed her texting late, hiding her phone screen. He asked casually, "Who's messaging you at this hour?" Nothing aggressive, no raised voice, just curiosity. Her response? She exploded. "Why are you always checking on me? You're so possessive. I can't breathe with you. You're insecure, controlling, toxic." Within minutes, Mark found himself apologizing for even asking. He left that conversation believing he had done something wrong when all he had done was ask a normal question. Later, he learned she had been building a relationship with a coworker, exactly the man she was texting that night. The attack wasn't random, it was calculated. That's the key, men. When the truth threatens exposure, the best defense is offense. By attacking you, she shifts the spotlight off her behavior and onto your supposed flaws. And if you're not careful, you'll spend weeks, months, even years apologizing for simply wanting honesty. Now let's be fair for a moment. Yes, some men truly are controlling. If you're demanding her passwords, tracking her every move, monitoring her friendships, that's not love, that's paranoia. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about basic relationship questions, the kind any healthy couple should navigate easily. Where were you? Who's this new friend? Why are you coming home late? These are not acts of control. These are acts of care. A faithful woman doesn't feel threatened by those questions. She sees them as natural. She may even appreciate them because they show you care about the relationship. But a woman who's hiding something will treat every question as an attack. Here's the red flag. If every time you ask for clarity, she attacks your character instead of giving you an answer, you're not being controlling. You're being manipulated. And here's what makes this so dangerous. Over time, her accusations can rewire your mind. You start second-guessing yourself. You stop asking questions altogether. You tell yourself, "I don't want to seem insecure," or Maybe I am too controlling. And that's exactly what she wants, for you to silence your instincts while she continues unchecked. Men, remember this. Questions build trust. Accusations destroy it. If she consistently makes you feel guilty for asking basic things, that guilt is not coming from your insecurity. It's coming from her fear of being found out. So don't fall into the trap. Don't let her label you the villain for seeking the truth. A woman who truly loves you won't punish your curiosity. She'll meet it with openness. If she can't do that, if every question leads to you apologizing, understand this. It's not because you're too controlling. It's because she's too exposed. Not every woman who pushes back against questions is hiding something. But when every reasonable concern gets flipped into an attack on your character, that's not honesty. It's deflection. Number 4, I just want us to be honest with each other. On the surface, this sounds perfect. Honesty is what every man wants, right? Finally, she's ready for transparency. Finally, she wants real communication. You hear those words and think, this could fix everything. But here's the deception. She's not asking for honesty. She's setting the stage for selective honesty. That means she gets to dig deep into your life, your past, your vulnerabilities, while carefully curating what she reveals about hers. It looks like openness, but it's actually control. Here's how it works. After announcing this new commitment to honesty, she suddenly becomes curious about everything in your life. She wants to know your childhood traumas, your regrets, your mistakes. She asks about every woman you've ever dated, about your insecurities, about the worst moments of your life. And you open up because you think that's what real intimacy is. But when you flip it back, when you ask about her new male coworker, or why she's been distant lately, or why she hides her phone, suddenly the tone shifts. She says you're interrogating her. She says, I thought we agreed not to be controlling. She accuses you of lacking trust. In other words, she uses your own desire for honesty against you. Let me illustrate. Tom, a 50-year-old insurance agent, told me about his girlfriend. She always wanted to know everything about him, his first heartbreak, his fears about aging, even embarrassing mistakes from college. She said it made her feel closer to him, and Tom, being a good man, opened up. But whenever he asked her even the simplest questions, like, who were you out with after work? Or, can I see the messages you were upset about? She'd dodge, deflect, or accuse. You're being too suspicious. Why can't you just trust me? I'm telling you so much and you still want more? Do you see the trick? She framed selective sharing as deep intimacy. She made Tom feel unreasonable for wanting the same openness she demanded from him. And while Tom was busy bearing his soul, she was hiding the one thing that mattered most: her growing connection with another man. This is the cruel genius of selective honesty. It gives you just enough truth to keep you calm, while hiding the truths that would set off every alarm in your body. It feeds you scraps of transparency so you feel guilty for asking for a full meal. Men, real honesty is mutual. It flows naturally in both directions. It's not rationed out like a political statement. It doesn't feel like pulling teeth, and it doesn't make you feel guilty for asking. Real honesty builds safety. Selective honesty builds confusion. Here's the red flag. If she's open about things that make her look good, or things that win your sympathy but shuts down when the questions cut closer to her behavior, understand what's happening. That's not vulnerability, that's strategy. And the longer you buy into this, the more she gains control. She learns everything about you, your weaknesses, your fears, while you learn almost nothing about her reality. And by the time the truth surfaces, she's already rewritten the story in her favor. So don't be fooled by this polished version of honesty. Watch how it plays out. Ask yourself, does her openness make me feel secure, or does it make me feel like I'm crazy for wanting more? If it's the second, you're not dealing with honesty. You're dealing with manipulation. Men, hear me clearly. The right woman won't ration the truth. She won't make you feel guilty for wanting transparency. She won't weaponize honesty as a shield for secrecy. She'll make the truth easy to see, not impossible to find. Real honesty is mutual, not selective. If she shares small details but dodges the big ones, that's not openness, it's strategy. And strategy in secrecy almost always points to betrayal. Now let's get to the one thing you must do when you hear any of these lies. This is the turning point, men, so listen carefully. The instinct most men have is to argue, to demand answers, to become the detective in their own relationship. But that only drags you deeper into her frame. The more you chase, the more you look insecure. The more you argue, the more you feed her excuses. And while you're debating her words, she's already proving her actions elsewhere. So here's the golden rule. Don't argue, don't chase. Just observe. Actions never lie. Let me give you a practical checklist, one lie at a time. When she says, "I just haven't been in the mood," don't fight her on it. Watch instead. Does she still want closeness in small ways? Cuddling, holding hands, spending quality time? Or has she withdrawn completely while suddenly investing in her appearance for everyone else? That contrast tells you everything. When she says, "I just want to focus on myself," don't beg to be included. Observe. Does her self-growth bring her closer to you, or does it require distance from you? Does she share her journey, or does she insist it's a solo mission where your presence is inconvenient? True growth includes the partner. Fake growth excludes him. When she says, "You're being too controlling," don't get defensive. Ask yourself, were my questions unreasonable? Or were they basic things any caring partner would ask? If it's the latter, and she still attacks you, that's not about you being controlling. That's about her needing cover. When she says, "I just want us to be honest with each other," don't get swept up by the promise. Watch if the honesty flows both ways. Does she give you transparency as freely as she demands it from you? Or are you the only one on the interrogation chair while she carefully curates what she shares? This is how you protect yourself, by stepping back, observing patterns, and letting her behavior reveal the truth. You don't need to expose her with arguments. She'll expose herself with her actions. And here's the most important piece. Trust your intuition. Men, your gut is not paranoia. It's data. It's your subconscious noticing shifts in tone, energy, micro-expressions, things your conscious mind hasn't caught up with yet. When everything she says sounds logical, but your chest feels heavy, trust your chest. That's your radar screaming at you. Remember this. The right woman will never require you to be a detective. She'll make honesty easy, not impossible. She'll make love safe, not confusing. If you feel like you're constantly being spun in circles, that's not love. That's manipulation. So don't argue. Don't beg. Don't lose years trying to logic your way through lies. Step back, observe, trust your gut. Your instincts will save you long before her words ever will. So let's bring this home. We've walked through 4 of the most common lies women tell before they cross that line. Number 1, "I just haven't been in the mood lately." That's not about stress. It's about her desire shifting away from you. Number 2, "I just want to focus on myself right now." That's not self-growth. It's strategic distancing dressed up as personal development. Number 3, "You're being too controlling." That's not your insecurity. It's her deflection, turning your basic questions into an attack. Number 4, "I just want us to be honest with each other." That's not transparency. It's selective honesty, designed to give you scraps while she hides the core truth. Now, if you only remember one thing from this entire video, let it be this. The right woman will never require you to be a detective in your own relationship. She won't make you feel crazy for asking basic questions. She won't punish you for wanting closeness. She won't hide behind excuses of growth, honesty, or boundaries. She'll make love easy to see, not impossible to prove. And men, this is where your power comes in. You don't win by arguing. You don't win by begging. You win by watching, by trusting your gut, by walking away when her actions scream louder than her words. That's how you protect your time, your heart, and your sanity. So here's what I want you to do. If this video gave you clarity, don't just sit on it. Hit that like button right now so other men wake up too. Subscribe, because every week I'll be exposing the truths nobody else will tell you. Drop a comment. Tell me what city you're watching from. Because men around the world are fighting the same battles, and you are not alone in this. And share this with a brother who needs to hear it. Remember, manipulation thrives in silence. Truth spreads when men like you speak it, share it, and live it. Don't stay in the dark. Stay awake, stay sharp, and never let anyone convince you that confusion is love.